In my previous video, I shared some profitable businesses you can do in Ivory Coast, and the response was massive. So today, this is part 2. But before we start, let me say this clearly. One thing I love about Ivory Coast is nobody belittles your business or job, the type of business you do, or the type of job you do. As long as you're working honestly and you're making a living or you're making money, you are respected. Now let me show you more real businesses people do in Ivory Coast that are very profitable. Hello guys, if you're new to this channel, my name is Diamond. I'm a Nigerian living in Ivory Coast. Please do all to like and subscribe to this channel. Now let's jump right into the video. The number one business is phone accessories and gadgets. This is a very good business in Ivory Coast. You can sell chargers, power banks, pouch, screen guards, speakers, all these phone accessories. It's a very good business in the Ivory Coast. Let me say this, if you're a Nigerian and you're looking to do a business here in Ivory Coast, a business you can buy from Nigeria and transport to Ivory Coast and sell. Be it clothes business, shoe business, phone accessories, gadgets, whatever business it is, spare parts that you can buy from Nigeria and waybill it. You have the means to buy it from Nigeria and waybill it to Ivory Coast and sell. I will really encourage that. It's a very good idea. The reason why I say it is because, let me explain. Let's say you're buying something from Nigeria at the rate of 1,000 naira and you're coming to sell it in Ivory Coast at the rate of the same 1,000 sefa. The exchange rate alone has made you gain, because 1,000 sefa is equals to 2,500 naira. So let's say you're buying maybe a screen guard or you're buying a phone pouch from Nigeria, at 1,000 naira. Coming to sell it here at the same 1,000 naira, you've gained extra 1,500 naira, because selling it at 1,000 sefa is 2,500 naira. You get the point now. I don't know if you understand. And then if it's something you're buying it in bulk, you buy it, I believe you buy it less cheaper. You can buy it from around 500 to 600, 700 naira. And then coming to sell it here at the rate of maybe 1,000 or 1,500, the exchange rate, the gap alone has given you enough gain. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So that's one of the importance of, if you're able to buy from Nigeria and waybill it down to Ivory Coast to sell. But if you don't have the means, you can also buy it here in Ivory Coast and resell. You still get your gain depending on the kind of business you're doing. So the number one business I said is phone accessories and gadgets. It's a very good business. I have some friends that are doing that into that kind of business. So the number two business is foodstuff business. This is another nice business, because food is something that you can't do without. Raw food items, rice, beans, yam, potato, oil, pepper, tomato, all these foodstuffs. There are things that we cannot do without. You must eat. And one good thing about Ivory Coast is that the things are stable. The prices of things are stable, especially food. The prices of things are stable. The currency is stable. So it's something that it's really good for business. You're buying it at this rate, you're selling it at this rate. There's no fluctuation of the currency. It's a very good business. Then the number three is frozen food business. This is another very nice business you can do in Ivory Coast, because what you need for this business is your deep freezer, a good location, and stable electricity. Either a location in a residential area or in a market area. But the most important thing you need is stable electricity. And that's what Ivory Coast provides you with, because there's a stable electricity here. And then, frozen foods like fish, chicken, turkey, all these things are what they eat very well in Ivory Coast. So if you're someone that it's into the business and you're consistent, you know how to do the business very well, you make a lot of money from it. The fourth business is boutique business. Now this boutique is not the clothes business. This boutique means shop. Shop means boutique in French. So this shop is where they sell all this provision. Their boutique here, they sell both provisions and foodstuffs. In their boutique, you will see provisions like biscuits, your cornflakes, your all these groceries, and then you also see foodstuffs like rice, oil, tomato, that is a sachet or tin tomato. That is how their boutique is set up here. So it's a very good business because it involves food and people must buy food every day. It's something that if you're good with market all these food items, if you're good with it and you enter into the business, it's a very nice business here in Ivory Coast. And then the fifth one is spare part business. This involves motorbike spare parts, car spare parts, lorry spare parts, tippers, all kinds of vehicle spare parts. But if you want to specialize in one, let's say you want to specialize in only car spare parts, or you want to specialize in only tipper spare parts, this is a very good business in Ivory Coast. I know some people that are into this business, and it's a very, especially our Igbo brothers, they are the ones that do this business mostly in Ivory Coast here, and it's a very huge business. The only thing is you need to understand the business, you need to learn the business. Then learn the business before going into it. You don't just invest your money like that. But if you're someone that already know the business and you want to go into the business here in Ivory Coast, maybe import from Nigeria and sell here, or buy from Ivory Coast here and resell, it's also a very fantastic business. And then the sixth business is grilled fish and chicken. This is also what we call suya in Nigeria. It involves grilling your chicken and fish to sell. Now let me break this down for you. This is a very good business. Why I say so is I have a friend that is into poultry. They sell chicken. This agri chicken, and people that do grilled chicken business, grilled fish business, they come to the poultry to buy in large quantity. And then this my friend said they sell to them at the rate of 2,000 sefa. And then the price of grilled chicken is 3,500 sefa. Now you're buying the chicken at 2,000 sefa and you're selling it at the rate of 3,500 sefa. What you need is just your ingredients, your spices and all that, and then your fire. So it's a very good business. If it's something that you can do, if it's something you are good at, it's something they can learn. It's a very good business because from one chicken, you're making a gain of 1,500, or let's say you use 500 to get your ingredients. You're making a gain of 1,000 sefa per chicken. Let's say you're able to sell about 10 to 15 in a night. You're getting about 15 to 10 to 15. You're getting about 10 to 15,000 sefa gain in a day. Multiplied by 30 days. So it's a very good business. And one advantage with this business is you don't need a shop, you only need a stand, and you don't need to maybe register the business or stuff like that, go through the stress of registering a business. You just get your stand where you go in the evening and then you sell your goods. So if you want a daily cash flow, don't ignore this business. So the number 7 business is gas business. I did a video about how gas is being sold in Ivory Coast. The method of buying gas in Ivory Coast is where you take your empty gas and then you take it to where they sell it and then you exchange it. You're not taking it to the filling station to refill. So it's more like exchanging Coke. Let's say you drink Coke, and then you take the empty container to exchange for a full one. So that is how Ivory Coast gas system is here. So I'll pin that video in the description. I'll pin it at the end of this video so you can watch the gas system in Ivory Coast. So this business is also a very good business because it's something that you might not require a shop. It's just something you can get a place where you can lock your gas. You buy the gas from the people that are selling it in bulk and then you resell. And this is something that people buy every day because people use gas every day. I know people that are into the business, and then you buy the gas for around, I think, 1,800 or 1,850 sefa if you're buying it in bulk, and then you're reselling it for around 2,200 sefa. So it's something that you don't really need to stress. The car that is bringing the gas will bring it to your location, and then they will offload it for you. And then after offloading it for you, you pack it to your storage where you store your gas. And then as customers are coming, you're collecting their empty cans and you're giving them the filled one. So it's a very nice business. It is something you can go into. So that is another very good business. So the eighth, so another business is pure water and soft drink business. This is also another very good business because water is life. People drink water every day. People drink soft drinks every day, and it's something you can sell it in retail or in wholesale. You can just put them in your freezer. There is steady light. Everything will be cold. People will be coming to buy and you make your gain. So it's also a very nice business. You can also put some things by the side. The number 9 is mechanic workshop. I said at the beginning of this video that in Ivory Coast they don't belittle any job. As long as it's something that you have the skill, you can do it. Every job is a job as long as you're legitimately earning money from it. So this mechanic job is also a very fantastic business. If you're someone that have the skill, you know how to repair bikes, you know how to repair cars, you open your own shop. It's a very nice business. You can never run out of business. Skills here in Ivory Coast is more valuable than your certificates. What you know upstairs, your skills is more valuable than even your certificates. The next business is carpentry business. If you're someone that has the skills, making of tables, chairs, all these things carpenter do, you have the skills, you can, open your own shop and do your thing. It's a very nice business too. And then another business is electrical appliances. Selling of electrical appliances from fan to light bulbs to fridge to any electrical appliances, televisions. And then if it's something you also have the skills to repair, it's also an added something by the side. You can sell and you also repair. It's also a very fantastic business. And then number 12 is phone and gadgets repair. So if you're someone that has the skills to repair phones, to repair laptops, iPads, all these gadgets, it's a very good business because there was a time I had issues with my phone and I took it to repair. The amount they call for me, because the people that are doing these things here, they are not much. They are very few. So if you're someone that has the skill, you know what you're doing, and you're planning to maybe relocate, come to Ivory Coast, this is a very good business. That even though you want to do any other business, you can do it by the side. Phone repairs and gadget repairs is a very good business there in Ivory Coast. So the last but not the least business is poultry and fish farming. This is another good business in Ivory Coast, but the thing is, anybody cannot just go into the business. It's something you have to know, it's something you have to study. So if you're someone that is into agriculture or you're into fish farming or animal farming as a whole, going into fish farming or going into poultry farming, it's a very wonderful business because in Ivory Coast they eat fish a lot, they eat chicken a lot. So if it's something you go into the business and you have the skill, you know the business very well, it's something you can go into. In Ivory Coast, nobody laughs at honest work. The man selling water, the woman cooking food, the mechanic fixing cars, they are all respected. And let me put this out there, another very important thing about doing business in Ivory Coast is business registration. If you're someone that plans on doing business in Ivory Coast, you have to put this at the back of your mind. When you're opening your business or when you're starting the business, you need to go to where they do the business registration here in Ivory Coast and register your business. From my findings, it's not that expensive depending on your kind of business. If you're someone that maybe wants to go into phones, maybe phone accessories or gadgets, or maybe boutique business, or something that involves a shop, and someone that wants to open maybe a company, or someone that wants to open maybe a large warehouse or something like that, the registration will be different. So it depends on your business and your type of business or your size of business. Price can range from 15,000, 20,000, to register your business. And after that, you pay your tax every month, which are very little amounts. From my findings, I don't have the exact figures about that, but what I'm trying to say is it's very important to register your business and then you pay your tax as you're doing your business. This will help your business to be legal and will help you, not have any trouble at all and doing your business here in Ivory Coast. Once you're doing your business, you're consistent, you get a good location, you put in the work and people know you, you enjoy Ivory Coast. Because business to me is even more preferable than a job, because business you get your daily income, you get your stable income. So in conclusion, whether you're a local or you're a foreigner or you're planning to move to Ivory Coast as a Nigerian, you need to understand this. You don't need a fancy office to succeed in Ivory Coast. And this is the mentality that many of us Nigerians have. When they see you doing maybe a minor job or they see you doing a business, they don't know that that business you're doing, the profit you're getting from that business every day, if you calculate it in a month, it's even more than most people's white collar jobs or office jobs. So this is something that you need to have at the back of your mind. If you're someone that is business oriented, what you need is your consistency. What you need is you put in the work, you grow your business, and then you're going to enjoy Ivory Coast. So in my next video, I'll be showing you which of these businesses foreigners should avoid and which ones are the safest to start as a newcomer. So guys, do well to subscribe, like, and turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified when next I drop a video. Thank you so much for watching. To my new subscribers, you're welcome. My name is Diamond. I'm a Nigerian living in Ivory Coast. Thanks for watching.